Think about your last birthday. Now think about the one before that. And the one before that. They're blurring together, aren't they? Like photographs left too long in sunlight. Now think about being 8 years old. School just ended, summer stretching ahead of you like an ocean with no shore. You had nowhere to be. Time felt enormous. That single summer felt like it lasted years. So here's the question. What happened to time? Because something did. Between then and now, time didn't just change, it collapsed. And the reason why is one of the most quietly devastating things neuroscience has ever found. Let's start with a number. When you were 5 years old, 1 year was 20% of your entire life. 20%! Every single year was a fifth of everything you had ever known. When you're 50, 1 year is 2%. When you're 70, it's 1.4. The clock doesn't change, but your relationship to time does, because the denominator keeps growing. This is proportional time theory, first described by philosopher William James in 1890. He noticed that the older people got, the faster life seemed to move. Not because they were busier, but because each new year was smaller compared to everything that came before it. Think about it like this. When you were 8, Christmas to Christmas felt like an eternity. 12 whole months was 1/8 of your existence. Now, 12 months is a fraction of 40 years. It barely makes a dent. But that's only half the answer. Proportional time explains the math. It doesn't explain why childhood memories feel so impossibly vivid, so alive. For that, we need a scientist named Robert Ornstein. In 1969, Ornstein discovered something called the novelty theory of time perception. And the key insight changes everything. Your brain does not measure time with a clock. It measures time with memories. The more new experiences you have, the more memories get formed, and the longer that period of time feels when you look back on it. And when you were a child, everything was new. Your first bike, first day of school, the first song that made you feel something you couldn't name yet. Every experience was firing new neural pathways. Your brain was building itself from the ground up. Every single day was dense with novelty, every week packed with firsts. Your brain was encoding everything. The smell of rain on hot pavement, the texture of grass, the exact quality of afternoon light through your bedroom window, because it was all still new information. Your brain was studying the world, and studied time feels longer. Now compare that to today. Same alarm, same coffee, same commute, same desk, same lunch, same route home, same everything. Your brain barely encodes any of it because it already knows this script. It stopped paying attention. It's running on autopilot. And time on autopilot doesn't just pass quickly, it disappears. Neuroscientist David Eagleman calls this the chunking effect. Your brain groups repeated experiences and compresses them into a single, averaged memory. You don't remember Tuesday, you remember a Tuesday, generic, flattened, filed away. You lose entire years to this. But here's how you know Ornstein was right. Think about your last trip somewhere new, somewhere genuinely different. Even if it was only 5 days, it probably felt like 3 weeks. Because your brain turned back on. It was recording again. New streets, new sounds, new faces. Every hour earning its place in memory. 5 days of novelty feels longer than 4 months of routine. Your brain doesn't count seconds. It counts experiences worth keeping. Now here is where it gets heavy. By the time most people reach 25, the vast majority of their firsts are behind them. First time riding a bike, first love, first real heartbreak, first time living alone, first time seeing the ocean, first real failure, first understanding of death. Nearly all of these happen in a concentrated window, roughly age 5 to 25. 20 years of explosion, of newness, of becoming, of studying the world. And then the firsts start slowing down. Not because life stops, but because your brain already has a folder for most of it. New job, folder exists. New city, folder exists. New relationship, folder exists. And folders don't get encoded the same way. They get filed. This is the quiet tragedy buried inside the neuroscience. In terms of felt time, actual subjective experience, by age 25, you may have already lived more than half your life. 50 more years on the calendar ahead, but possibly less than half the richness waiting inside that time, unless you do something about it. Because the research also shows this. It is not fixed. Time is not just happening to you. You have the ability to slow it down, deliberately. The intervention is always the same: novelty. New experiences, new skills, new places, not just vacations. Any genuine break from the patterns your brain has set to autopilot. A different route to work, a difficult skill you keep putting off, a real conversation with a stranger. Your brain back up. It starts recording again. The days start stretching again. There's a photographer's principle for this. When you visit a new city for a week, you take hundreds of photographs. Every alley, every face, every unexpected thing. When you're home for a year, you might take 12. Your brain does exactly the same. A new week produces hundreds of memories. A routine year produces almost none. And when you look back, the week with hundreds of memories will feel longer, fuller, more real than the year with 12. Philosopher Alan Watts said it long before the brain scanners. The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond it. The people who look back on long, full lives aren't the ones who are the most productive. They're the ones who stayed awake while it was happening. Time isn't running out faster because you're getting older. It's running out faster because you stopped noticing. Start noticing again.